So, hope y'all having a great day. I did want to talk about this. I've been wanting to talk about this one for a long time. Um, this came out, I forgot, it had to be a couple weeks ago or not that long ago. It was sometime this month. But we did get a whistleblower talking about Facebook, how they're working for China, how they're deliberately hurting our children with social media and, the addictive, everything that's wrong with social media with the addictions and everything else and how they're purposely doing these things to kids. That's why they don't have their own fucking kids on these social media platforms because they know the harmful things that come along with it. I've seen it firsthand. I mean, you see it with adults, you see it with kids, you see it with everybody, you see it with grandparents, man. Like they're just totally addicted to this fucking phone. I myself have caught myself. I myself have caught myself. Yeah, it was. I was correct. I was already down myself. Looking at the phone for multiple hours, and I'm like, shit, what am I doing? And I have to tell myself, like, hey, okay, get off the phone, enjoy, your life, enjoy the outside world. It is like pushed out in a very malicious way to get you addicted as much as possible, to basically have you living in for and like what the ultimate goal is probably to have you living in virtual reality where like Ready Player One is gonna be a fucking real thing, you're gonna want to live in the fucking pods, put on your little Apple thing or your what is it, the Meta, the go in the Meta world, and just live your fantasies out there. And those fantasies are eventually gonna bleed out to the reality, and we're gonna have a bunch of messed up people in the world. I really don't see a positive thing about it. I get like social media has positive things, don't get me wrong, but when you just live your whole life on there, I mean, who in the right mind thinks it's not going to lead to the destruction of our people? I mean, come on. It is what it is. They tell you too. It's not like it's a secret. So let's go ahead and see some of the things that she said when she testified at the Senate hearing, and some of it's terrifying, man. I watched it and it was insane. I don't know why Mark Zuckerberg is not being investigated. Trump, what the fuck are you doing, bro? Go investigate this guy. And I want to show you how she's talking about China.
She worked closely with Mark Zuckerberg and Sheryl Sandberg. She arranged their meetings with world leaders across the globe. She heard their plans for China. She's no ordinary whistleblower, and she comes to tell us not merely about what has happened, but also what is coming. If you would, let me invite you to rise, raise your right hand, and we'll get started. Do you swear that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Thank you very much. We'd love to hear your opening statement. Take as long as you need.
Chairman Hawley, Ranking Member Durbin, and distinguished members of the committee, thank you for the opportunity to speak with you today. My name is Sarah Wynne-Williams, and I served as the Director of Global Public Policy at Facebook, now Meta, for nearly 7 years, starting in 2011. Throughout those 7 years, I saw Meta executives repeatedly undermine U.S. national security and betray American values. They did these things in secret to win favor with Beijing and build an $18 billion business in China.
Right there, bro. Right there. They need to be investigated. Mark Zuckerberg needs to be investigated. Treasonous. What do y'all say? I'd say yes. You're working to fucking enrich another country. And you're going to see in a little bit talking about also censoring Americans on behalf of another country. That is treasonous, bro. You're oppressing your own people to enable and uplift another country. I mean, what else do you call that?
We are engaged in a high-stakes AI arms race against China.
That is true.
During my time at Meta, company executives lied about what they were doing with the Chinese Communist Party to employees, shareholders, Congress, and the American public. I sit before this committee today to set the record straight about these illegal and dangerous activities. Meta's dishonesty started with the betrayal of core American values. Mark Zuckerberg pledged himself a free speech champion. Yet I witnessed Meta work hand in glove with the Chinese Communist Party to construct and test custom-built censorship tools that silenced, and censored their critics.
Right there, bro. That's enough for me to hear where I'm saying DOJ, FBI, everybody, Trump. That's why Zuckerberg's kissing your ass. That is why Zuckerberg is fucking running to you now, trying to pretend he's a conservative. And there's even been whistleblowers saying it's all an act. I don't know if you saw that. James O'Keefe had somebody that came on, and where not came on actually, because James O'Keefe. I don't know how these people keep falling for it. If you're in DC, bro, and somebody goes on a date and start asking you questions about your fucking job, and it really is intrigued about your job, it's probably James O'Keefe, but y'all keep falling for that shit real quick. And he said, one of the whistleblowers said, all that shit's fake. Mark Zuckerberg hates Trump. He hates everything he stands for. So do the people at the company. And he's just putting on an act because he doesn't want to get arrested or he doesn't want to get shut down. We all know what's going on. We all know how the game is played, but they keep doing it. And Trump, somebody kisses his ass and he fucking falls for it. Trump, you need to fucking stop that shit. You need to understand Mark Zuckerberg's not on your team. TikTok's not on your team. Bro, what are you doing? TikTok, bro, that's not helping you at all. It's a leftist propaganda machine, and you for some reason you were on the right track taking it off, and then you went sideways and said, no, it's against free speech and all. No, it's not. It's a foreign government spying on your citizens, on us, using us. And I'm sorry, I don't know how how is this complicated? Now, this chick also, I guarantee she's telling the truth because we know Mark Zuckerberg, we know the way he is, and they love to censor people. They censor people like a motherfucker. Remember COVID? It wasn't that long ago. COVID was not that long ago. They censored everybody with COVID. We all saw it. I don't know if you were not paying attention, but they censored everybody. They censored doctors. They censored biologists. They censored everybody. They made Joe Rogan look like he was eating horse medicine. It's crazy. What is that? Oh my God, he's so pale. He's turning green. Dude, come on. Come on. You know what's going on. Let's go for it.
When Beijing demanded that Facebook delete the account of a prominent Chinese dissident living on American soil, they did it.
Take him
and
down.
Then lied to Congress when asked about the incident in a Senate hearing.
Take him down.
The willingness to censor was not the only troubling thing I witnessed. I watched as executives decided to provide the Chinese Communist Party with access to Meta user data, including that of Americans. Meta does not dispute these facts. They can't. I have the documents.
Our social media platforms have sold us out. Our politicians have sold us out. China has just bought everything, bro, and everybody. And we're sitting on our fucking hands about it.
Recently, as this Monday, they claim that they do not operate their services in China. Another lie. In fact, they began offering products and services in China as early as 2014. That hasn't stopped. Their own SEC filings from last year show that China is now Meta's second biggest market. Meanwhile,
I also want to say Elon Musk has a lot of ties with China too. That's troubling. So I would, dude, I mean, are you for or against America if you're doing this shit on behalf of China? I don't think Elon Musk is doing it on behalf of China, but if we find out he is, or if anybody in any of these places like TikTok, we already know that. We know Meta. Yeah, you need to be investigated and you need to be charged, and all these kind of things need to happen, man. DOJ, get on your fucking shit.
AI model, Llama, has contributed significantly to Chinese advances in AI technologies like DeepSeek.
Which they lied
Facebook's
about.
secret mission to get into China was called Project Aldrin and was restricted to need-to-know staff. There was no bridge too far. Meta built a physical pipeline connecting the United States and China. Meta executives ignored warnings that this would provide backdoor access to the Chinese Communist Party, allowing them to intercept the personal data and private messages of American citizens.
There you go right there, bro. They are sending all that to the Chinese part. Let's go.
The only reason China does not currently have access to US user data through this pipeline is because Congress stepped in. Meta started briefing the Chinese Communist Party as early as 2015. These briefings focused on critical emerging technologies, including artificial intelligence. The explicit goal being to help China outcompete American companies. There's a straight line you can draw from these briefings to the recent revelations that China is developing AI models for military use, relying on Meta's Llama model. Meta's internal documents describe their sales pitch for why China should allow them into the market by, quote, helping China increase global influence and promote the China dream.
Yeah, why would you want to help China have global influence? We would know what they're about. They're a bunch of communist assholes. If you lived in China, you would know. Like it is a shithole. I've been there. Yeah, you cannot even move from one city to the other unless you get government permission. They have face recognition with their credit scores. Do you want that here, Big Brother? I mean, we know the Democrats do. I mean, they try to have the Ministry of Truth just like 1984. Um, this is something that's troubling, man, that our people are selling us out to the Chinese government, and it's just dude, I mean, it's just sad and it's depressing, and a lot of people in Congress as well have been doing this for years, and we just let it happen.
The truth about what has gone on in China matters. I filed a shareholder resolution asking Meta's board to investigate its activity in China, and I filed whistleblower complaints with the SEC and the DOJ. The measure of how important these truths are is directly proportionate to the ferocity of Meta's efforts to censor and intimidate me. I relied on their commitment given in 2018 that they would waive their rights to pursue forced arbitration. Despite that public commitment, they've brought a case against me for hundreds of millions of dollars. Now, they have a legal gag order that silences me, even as Meta and their proxies spread lies about me. This order is so expansive that it prohibits me from speaking with members of Congress. The gag order was sought by a company whose CEO claims to be a champion of free speech.
I don't think anybody believes Mark Zuckerberg's a champion of free speech. Trump, you should be sympathetic to this. You know about gag orders. Get on it.
The American people deserve to know the truth.
Yes, we do.
Meta has been willing to compromise its values, sacrifice the security of its users, and undermine American interests to build its China business.
I'm sorry, but this guy's so distracting. This guy's so distracted. You know, he woke up and said, let me get those fucking purple glasses so people notice me. Oh my God. This guy, you're fucking up the whole shit. I'm trying to be serious here. Look at this guy. Come on.
It's been happening for years, covered up by lies, and continues to this day. I am here at considerable personal risk because you have the power and the authority to hold them accountable. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, I want to say this is, ladies, gentlemen, Democrats, this is real bravery. Not putting on a dress and tucking your dick back and looking like you have the worst hemorrhoids I've ever seen. The back. Sorry, that's an Ace Ventura reference. But this is true bravery, man. She's risking a lot. And that's how you can tell somebody's character. Are they risking shit? Is there something to risk there? That's why I give Elon Musk the benefit of the doubt, even though he runs X terribly, because whoever's running X is doing a terrible job of the algorithms and everything else, just throwing you in probable spam, throwing you in sensitive content. I'm not a fan. Just because of the fact that this happened to me twice for things I have not done that's remotely violent, remotely harassment. I've never done anything like that, and I know a lot of other people that have been in it, that are in that same boat, and they will not help you. Once you're in that little thing, they will not help you. So I I do say I give Elon Musk the benefit of the doubt just for the fact that he risked it all. He risked it all during that time. Mark Zuckerberg just showed up when it was fucking beneficial towards him and when it was safe. That's all he did. It was beneficial and it was safe. Why beneficial? Because he can be part of the crew. And also now, he won't be indicted. He won't be investigated, right? Like, oh shit, hey, don't look over here. Hey, don't look at this bitch. Even though she's hot as shit. Don't look at her. Let's just put a gag order on her. And he knows it's safe because he won the majority. If he didn't win the majority, he probably wouldn't be safe, but he won the majority. Him winning the majority was a big deal. I know we talked about it over and over, but it's a big deal. It shows the people that not only did he win the electoral college, he won the fucking, like, the people. It was a mandate, even though they didn't want to admit it's a mandate. It was a mandate. Now, I'm very disappointed how Trump has kind of embraced them and had them at the inauguration, all that kind of stuff. If I was Trump, man, especially, did you forget the Zuckerbucks that he put up? I mean, shit, he put up $500 million of Zuckerbucks to get people to vote for Biden. I'm not a fan of Zuckerberg. I think he's a piece of shit, and I think at one point I was wondering if he was actually having a change of heart due to his MMA fighting and UFC connections and all that. But then I realized he's just the same old scumbag, authoritarian that will silence everybody that has opposing views from him and his colleagues and his little circle of fucking liberals. Um, I'm not a fan of him, Jack Dorsey. I'm not a fan, and Congress needs to actually do something about it with them and find out why so many people are getting excluded from the public square when this is the public square now. This is social media, YouTube, Rumble. YouTube's gone to shit. I mean, but all these things. And if you're gonna have a public square, you need to have everyone invited. You need to have an equal opportunity. You need to have all these kind of things, so people can kind of voice their opinions and do something about what they think is wrong or what they think is right. And what we've been seeing for the longest time is one party, one group of thinking has a total monopoly on the whole situation, and that's not right. That's not a public square. Then it's just a think tank for the left, and that's what it's been for the longest time. A little by little, like they said with Elon Musk and all that. But I mean, look, is it really a bastion of right conservatism? I wouldn't put it under that. I wouldn't put it in that realm. I see a lot of leftists. I mean, you have a lot of radical Muslims on there talking about death to Israel and all that. They don't get no strikes or nothing. I never even got a strike too, and on X, I never got a warning or nothing. In TikTok, at least they gave me warnings. And TikTok, though, I mean, you can't say anything about the Chinese government. I was putting this thing on Mike Benz talking about the meeting that they had before the Wuhan fucking coronavirus was spread out, and they were having a meeting about the what if there was a virus that spread. Just like, it's just so silly. Like, it's once you actually do research, you just realize how just in your face they don't give a shit. They just show you that they are in control, and they took it off. So I think I just think you need to stay informed. You need to have a equal opportunity in the social realm for people to voice their opinions. And you know, the left can't win unless they have a monopoly on information. We've seen it. We've seen it how many times? When the right gets to talk, they they usually lose. That's the way it goes. And I'm talking about like in the last couple, like the last decade or so, because the left's gone so far left. They already fucking. I don't even think there's a cliff. I mean, that cliff they were already off that cliff years ago. I mean, it's just insane. So, um, I'm glad, and I want to say that lady right there, that wonderful lady, showed true bravery. She has a lot to risk, so she's not just saying it to say it. It's not like it's a cool thing. She's not trying to get a book deal out of it. She's trying to actually reform something and inform the American public on the mischievous dealings with Facebook and the government of China Communist Party. And yeah, I respect her for it. I respect her. I hope she continues to voice her knowledge on what's going on between the two, and I hope they get investigated. That's all I can say about that. I hope it actually something comes out of that. I hope she didn't risk it all for no fucking reason. Because why? This just shows you if she risked it all, nothing happens. Then why else? Why would we have more whistleblowers? Because what's the point? If you're gonna blow the whistle and nobody listens or nobody does anything, like right now, Trump's team, like they keep saying, "Oh, Stacey Abrams doing this, Letitia James doing this, Act Blue's doing this." If we don't see no fucking arrest, then it doesn't mean shit. An accusation's an accusation. I mean, we've seen that a million times. They accuse us of everything on the right, but they arrest them too. So at least has some legitimacy, even though it's all bullshit. We know it's all bullshit. But on the left, I mean, on the right, they say accusations and nothing comes of it because they're too scared because they don't want to be called fascists. They don't want to be called dictators. Dude, fuck them. They're gonna call you that no matter what you do. So you got to do what you got to do. You got to do what you think is right, and you got to indict these people for the crimes that they have committed for selling out the American people. And you have a great night.